My wife whispered to her mom, "After the baby arrives, we'll push him out and collect the payments." I lay there, eyes closed, pretending to be asleep. The next morning, I served her with eviction papers, 30 days to get out. She completely lost it when she realized the baby wasn't the only surprise heading her way. Before we dive in, if you enjoy real stories about family drama and crazy life situations, hit that subscribe button right now. This is Reddit Family Stories, and trust me, you're gonna want to follow along for what comes next. So yeah, this actually happened to me. 2 weeks ago, everything I thought was real just shattered. One conversation I wasn't meant to hear changed absolutely everything. My name's Marcus, I'm 32, and up until 2 weeks ago, I thought I had everything figured out. I'm a software engineer, bought my house 3 years ago when I landed a great job at a tech firm here in Austin. 3-bedroom place, nice neighborhood, pool in the back. I was proud of it. Worked my tail off for that house. Then I met Jennifer. She was 29, worked at a coffee shop near my office. Beautiful smile, easy to talk to, made me laugh. We hit it off immediately. The romance was fast, maybe too fast, but I didn't see it that way back then. 6 months of dating and I proposed. She said yes without hesitation. We got married 8 months ago in a small ceremony, just family and close friends. She moved into my place right after the wedding. Gave up her apartment, quit her job because she said she wanted to focus on making our house a home. I didn't mind. My salary covered everything easily. 2 months after the wedding, she came to me with a pregnancy test positive. I'm not gonna lie, I cried. Happy tears. I'd always wanted to be a dad, and here it was happening. Jennifer seemed just as excited. We started talking about names, looking at baby furniture online, planning the nursery. Life was perfect, or so I thought. 2 weeks ago, Jennifer's mother, Patricia, came to visit from Oklahoma. She was staying in our guest room for the week. Now, Patricia and I never really clicked. She was always cold toward me, asking weird questions about my finances, how much I made, what my benefits were like. Jennifer would laugh it off, saying her mom was just being protective. But that Tuesday, something felt off. Jennifer and Patricia were acting strange all day. They'd be talking in the kitchen, and the second I walked in, they'd go quiet. Whispering in the living room, then changing the subject when I sat down. It was obvious they didn't want me hearing something. I figured it was baby stuff. Maybe planning a surprise shower or talking about girl things, whatever. I didn't push it. That night I went to bed around 11. I'd been pulling long hours at work, a big project was due, and I was exhausted. Jennifer said she'd stay up a bit longer with her mom to watch some show. I must have dozed off for maybe 20 minutes when I heard them coming up the stairs. Our bedroom door was cracked open just a couple inches. The hallway light was on, and their voices carried clearly. What I heard next made my blood run cold. Jennifer's voice, quiet but crystal clear. "Mom, I'm telling you, this is perfect. Once the baby's born, we give him maybe 6 weeks to bond or whatever, then I file." I froze. Every muscle in my body went rigid. Patricia responded, "And you're sure about the house?" Actually laughed. "Doesn't matter that it's his. Texas is a community property state. I looked it up. We were married when the baby was conceived, so I get half of everything. Plus child support based on his salary." My heart was pounding so hard I thought they'd hear it. Patricia said, "That engineering money though." "Exactly." Jennifer's voice got more excited. "And here's the best part, once we kick him out and I have primary custody, I can move back home with you. He'll be paying for a kid he barely sees, and we'll have the support money to actually live on." Patricia asked, "What about him fighting it?" Jennifer scoffed. "Please. Courts always favor the mother, especially with an infant. I'll say he works too much, that I'm breastfeeding, that the baby needs stability. Easy." They kept talking but I stopped processing words. It was just noise. White noise. The sound of my entire life imploding. My wife, the woman I married, the woman carrying my child, was literally scheming to use our baby as a paycheck while stealing my house and kicking me out of my own life. 2. They went into the guest room and closed the door. I lay there staring at the ceiling for what felt like hours but was probably 20 minutes. Shock, anger, betrayal. But mostly, cold hard calculation. She wanted to play legal games. Fine. Let's play. I got up, went to my home office, closed the door and started researching. Texas property law, eviction procedures, divorce attorneys, everything I could find. Turns out Jennifer was half right. Texas is a community property state, but only for assets acquired during the marriage. My house, bought 2 years before I even met her. Completely separate property, not touchable. But she was living here as my spouse, which meant I had to be careful about how I handled this. I found an emergency consultation line for a family Larney named Robert Henderson. It was almost 1 in the morning, but I called anyway. He answered, bless him. I explained everything as quickly as I could. "You need documentation," he said immediately. "Can you record the conversation? Is that legal?" Texas is a one-party consent state. If you're part of the conversation or overhearing it naturally, you can record it. Do it. I hung up, downloaded a recording app, and waited for morning. I didn't sleep at all that night. Just planned. Wednesday morning, Patricia slept in. Jennifer was in the kitchen making breakfast, humming to herself, touching her belly, playing the role of the loving pregnant wife. I walked in with my phone recording in my pocket. "Hey babe," I said casually. "I've been thinking about the nursery. Should we do blue or keep it neutral?" She smiled at me. "Let's keep it neutral since we don't know the gender yet." Right. I paused. "Hey, random question. I thought I heard your mom mention something about property laws last night. What were you guys talking about? Her hands stopped moving but her face stayed neutral. Oh, just boring stuff. Don't worry about it. No, seriously, I'm curious. Something about community property. She forced a laugh. Mom was just asking how Texas law works. She's thinking about moving here, remember? That was a lie. Patricia hated Texas with a passion. How weird, I said. Because it sounded like you were discussing MY house and child support. The color drained from her face. You were awake, wide awake, heard everything. The plan to kick me out, take my kid, collect a check. Real sweet, Jennifer. She immediately started crying. Impressive response. Time. Baby, no, you misunderstood. We were just talking hypothetically. Mom was worried about me, about what would happen if things went wrong. Cut it, I interrupted. I'm not stupid. You literally said once we kick him out. Nothing hypothetical about that. Patricia came rushing in. What's going on? Your daughter's plan just got busted, that's what? Patricia went on the attack immediately. How dare you? She's pregnant. The stress isn't good for the baby. The stress of getting caught scheming, you mean? Jennifer grabbed my arm. Please, let's just talk about this. I wasn't serious, it was just girl talk. I pulled away. Girl talk about defrauding me and weaponizing our kid? Nah, I'm good. I walked to my office and grabbed the folder I'd prepared at 3 in the morning while they slept. Came back to the kitchen. Here. I handed Jennifer an envelope. Her hands were shaking as she opened it. What is this? Eviction notice. You have 30 days to vacate my property. Her face went white. You can't do this! I'm pregnant with your child. Pregnancy doesn't give you squatter's rights. This is my house, my premarital asset. You're being evicted. Patricia snatched the papers from Jennifer's hands. This is illegal. She's your wife. She's a resident in my house who was plotting to steal it. My lawyer says I'm well within my rights. 30 days. Jennifer collapsed into a chair, full on sobbing now. Where am I supposed to go? Your mom's house in Oklahoma. The one you were planning to move to anyway with my kid and my money, remember? Patricia's face turned bright red. You're a muster? Throwing out a pregnant woman? I said calmly. I'm protecting myself from people who literally planned to ruin my life while I slept 10 feet away. Eephoot, I left for work after that. Couldn't focus worth a damn, but I needed out of that house. My phone exploded with texts, hundreds of them. Please come home, we need to talk. I love you. This is all a misunderstanding. Think about our family. You're overreacting. Mom says you're being abusive. I ignored every single one and called Henderson. Good, he said when I told him what happened. File for separation immediately. Document everything. Get that paternity test in writing. And change your locks after the 30 days. Can I do that? It's your house. Just follow eviction procedures to the letter, and you're golden. That was 6 days ago. Jennifer's still here for now. We're not speaking. She's tried everything, cooking my favorite meals, being extra sweet, leaving little notes around the house saying she's sorry. Patricia left yesterday, but not before screaming at me for 20 minutes, calling me every name in the book. Jennifer's sister called me, said I was throwing away my family over a misunderstanding. I told her to mind her business. Even my own mom called. I told her everything, played her the recording. She was horrified. Get that girl out of your house, Marcus. 2 weeks in, Jennifer's trying everything. Day 8, I found her in the nursery we'd started setting up, crying over the crib we'd bought together. How can you tear apart our baby's home? She sobbed. You were planning to tear me out of it, I said, just returning the favor. Day 10, her dad called. I didn't even know he was in the picture. Her parents are divorced and she barely mentioned him. Apparently Patricia called in reinforcements. He tried the whole man-to-man approach. Son, I know she messed up, but that's your child. You don't abandon your child. I'm not abandoning anyone, I told him. She's the one who planned to push me out. I'm just speeding up her timeline. He got quiet. She told me you were being controlling about money. Did she tell you about the conversation I overheard? The one where she and her mom planned to fraudulently claim my premarital house and lock me out of my kid's life for a paycheck. Long pause. No, she left that part out. Yeah, thought so. Day 12. She went hard on the pregnancy card. Complained about back pain, morning sickness, fatigue. I need support right now, not stress. Should have thought about that before planning to weaponize our baby. Day 14, her best friend Ashley showed up, screaming on my porch about how I was abandoning my pregnant wife and that real men take responsibility. I stayed calm. Real women don't scheme to commit fraud. Your friend's got 3 weeks to pack. But day 15. That's when things got really interesting. I came home from work around 6 to find Jennifer in the living room with an older woman I'd never met. Professional looking, carrying a briefcase. Jennifer stood up. Honey, this is Dorothy. She's a family counselor. I thought we could talk through this together. I looked at Dorothy. Did she tell you Bowie why we're separated? Dorothy smiled in that therapeutic way. She mentioned some communication issues and fears about the future. Huh. Did she mention that I overheard her telling her mother that she planned to file for divorce after the baby was born, kick me out of my own house, and collect child support while keeping me from my kid? Dorothy's smile froze. Jennifer jumped in immediately. That's not what I said. You're twisting it. I pulled out my phone. I have a recording. Jennifer's face went completely white. Dorothy looked uncomfortable. You recorded a private conversation. Texas is one-party consent. I was the one party. Totally legal. Jennifer started crying again. Dorothy looked between us, clearly wanting to leave. Perhaps we should schedule. Nope. I cut her off. Thanks for coming, Dorothy. But we're not doing therapy. We're doing eviction proceedings and divorce. Have a good night. Dorothy practically ran out of there. Jennifer screamed at me for embarrassing her. I went to my office and locked the door. The next day, I got a letter from an attorney. Not Henderson, a different one. Jennifer had lawyered up. The letter claimed once I was creating a hostile living environment for a pregnant woman. 2. I was withholding financial support. I was still paying Eve our bill. 3. The eviction was retaliatory and illegal. 4. She deserved to stay in the marital home until the baby was born for health reasons. Henderson actually laughed when I showed him. She's desperate. We'll respond. The house is your separate property, the eviction is lawful, and you've got her dead to rights with that recording. Her lawyer's just blowing smoke. He drafted a response that basically said, your client planned to defraud my client. The eviction stands. She has 2 weeks to vacate. We included a transcript of the recording, not the audio, just the words. Jennifer's lawyer went completely silent after that. No more demands, no more letters. But Jennifer, she escalated on social media, started posting vague stuff like, going through the hardest time of my life. And some people show their true colors when you need them most, with sad pregnancy photos. Her friends flooded the comments with support. You deserve better. Mama, stay strong. My cousin sent me screenshots asking what was going on. I sent her the transcript. She sent it to my aunt. Now half my family knows the truth. Patricia called again screaming that I'd humiliated Jennifer and ruined her reputation, all over a private conversation. She yelled. A private conversation about ruining him life. I shot back. She was scared. Pregnant women have fears. She wasn't actually going to do it. Then why research the laws? Why make a timeline? Why say once we kick him out instead of what if we broke up? She had a plan, Patricia. She hung up on me. Today 28, 3 days until the legal deadline. Jennifer had barely packed anything. I think she genuinely believed I'd cave at the last minute. Not happening. Henderson reminded me, if she's not out by day 30 we file for sheriff-assisted eviction. Don't engage, just document. So I took photos of all her stuff still in the house. Evidence. Day 29 Thursday morning Patricia showed up with a U-Haul and 2 guys I didn't recognize. They loaded everything in about 4 hours. Jennifer didn't say a single word to me the entire time. Just directed the movers, cried quietly, packed boxes. As she was walking out the door for the last time, she stopped and looked back at me. I hope you're happy, she said. You got what you wanted. I looked her right in the eyes. I wanted a family. You wanted a paycheck. We both lost. She left. Just like that. 8 months of marriage over. I filed for divorce the next morning. Henderson's handling everything. Also filed for a paternity test to be administered at birth. Non-negotiable. If the kid's mine, I'll step up custody, support all of it, but legally. Through the courts. No more taking anyone's word for anything. Jennifer's already spinning this on social media, playing the victim. Thrown out while pregnant, abandoned by the man who promised forever. The comments are brutal on both sides. Her friends call me heartless. My friends who know the truth are backing me up. Patricia tried one last guilt trip, called yesterday saying Jennifer's depressed, barely eating, that the stress is affecting the baby. I told her, she ruined her own life when she schemed instead of being honest. I hope you can live with yourself. Patricia spat. I sleep fine. How's Jennifer sleeping, knowing she torpedoed her marriage for a plan that didn't even work? She hung up. According to someone who knows the family, Jennifer's staying with Patricia in Oklahoma now. No job, no plan, just living off her parents while pregnant and getting divorced at 29. So that's my story. Do I regret it? No. Could I have tried counseling? Maybe worked through it? Sure, maybe. But here's what people don't understand. It wasn't just what she said, it was the calculation, the research, the timeline, the LAGIG. That wasn't fear or hormones or a moment of panic. That was PLNN. She didn't slip up and say something mean in an argument. She sat down with her mother and strategized how to use our baby to rob me. Then climbed into bed next to me like nothing happened. That's not someone having a bad moment. That's someone showing you exactly who they are. Yeah, I'm going to be a divorced dad paying child support. Yeah, this whole thing destroyed what should have been a happy time. Yeah, I'll have to co-parent with someone I don't trust, but I still have my house, my assets, my self-respect. And when that baby's born, if it's mine, I'll be there. Not because a court says I have to. Not because someone trapped me, but because I chose to be a father on my own terms. To anyone going through something similar, trust your gut. Protect yourself. Don't let anyone guilt you into accepting betrayal just because it's wrapped up in family or love or obligation. You deserve better than that. If this story resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. This is Reddit Family Stories, and I share real stories from real people every week. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Did I do the right things? Could this have been handled differently? I read every comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.